Hello everyone and welcome to Dot to Dot. And today I got some pretty cool information about the rochefoucauld map, and you're going to want to see how it establishes basically the design of Nolan's cross and its extension. And before I do that, I want to thank everybody who's subscribed to my channel. I'm up to over 1,000 now. That's a big step for people on YouTube. Even though I'm not really into it for any kind of financial means, I want to get my voice heard and this information that we're discovering hopefully into the ears of some people who might be able to benefit from it. So another thing I've done is I've added the Quest of Oak Island, and John Stemmers has a live show. It's pretty much active during the season of Oak Island, which just ended. But this year he had a live interview with Erin Helton. It's 2 hours long, but it goes by really quickly. And she's very engaging, and she says a lot of things that she didn't have time to mention on the show about her theory. It's very, very interesting, and I encourage you to watch it. The other thing I put on the website is for one of my team members, Oliver from France, and his channel is the Oak Island Research Channel, and I have him there, and you can click on these links when you're on my channel, and you can go directly to them and watch their videos. Also, John Stemmers also has a Facebook page that has 71,000 members, and they have some really good comments and discussions and information. So if you're really into learning about the different things people know about Oak Island, wonderful resource, very, very active, and very polite. A lot of the people there really say things that are very informative, and sometimes you get a lot of derogatory stuff with that, but not on John Stemmers' Facebook group. He's very, very controlled on the discussion, and it's very, very enjoyable. So check that out. Anyway, I'm going to get to what we're going to talk about today. And here, let me put this up first. So this is the rochefoucauld map that we're talking about. And in my previous videos, you know that we have pretty much ascertained that this date down here is a distance, and that this line pointing to here is basically a verification or a check to make sure that you have the distance set correctly. But today we're going to mostly look about this compass rose right here, and how it pretty much gives you the scale, the basic information to discover Nolan's cross. Because if you notice on this map here and on any other map, Nolan's cross is not there. So Nolan's cross is a not mentioned but discoverable piece of information that helps you to locate all these different locations that are on this map, which we haven't solved yet, somehow relate to how to get into the money pit. So we're going to do that right now. So I have everything marked out because it's pretty hard to just do things as I'm going, because trying to find them on my myriad of points is difficult. But I will explain these as I go. Let me rotate this map here, and I'll explain to you that this is the scale line from the top of this extended triangle down to this line. This is one of the reasons why this scale line is not only to find the distance. It's not so much the distance here, because I can understand this distance and 1347 and translate it into 1440 feet, which is our unit of measure now. But why do we need to orient this map in this way? Now, remember I told you that this line is basically a register in a way, because see where it's pointing to on this island? Okay, well, look, if you extend, and this is the scale line, this is set from the top of the triangle, which, by the way, we got from this little drawing right here. This is how we understood what to do. And it only goes one way. So we took a line from the top of this, and see how from the top of the triangle, and then it extends out, and of course we go through two lines, and that's going to be this one, and then this one is the end point. But it tells you here's the end. The end is this line. So we took it out to here, to this distance, okay, that's underneath there. And if you take a line and extend it out all the way to that island, see where it lands? It lands right where, of course, this island looks different than on the map, which tells me that maybe this is an old, information, because this island has eroded somewhat since then. But that is basically telling you that you have it registered properly. So what happens when you have it registered properly? The information that it's giving is that this register point, this compass rose, lands on the 45,522, which is in La Formula. So this right here connects this map to La Formula. And 522 feet is the distance from the oak entrance to this point, and the 45 degrees is this. It's not a heading, it's a degrees. This is 45 degrees from north south. So if you were to position this where everything's running true north, this is a 45 degree angle. It also gives you where the location of the top stone is on Nolan's cross, and that lines up all the way through to the triangle of Peter, which is another it's another point that is on this map right here, Le Triangle de Pierre, which is the triangle of rock or the triangle of Peter. But also notice too, look at this little eye, how it's in the shape of an arrowhead. See how that's in the shape of an arrowhead? That's another little clue. So, notice that we have a point also on this scale. We have a point that is located through going through the middle of the Barcou, Le Barcou, and it hits the midstone pointer. Okay? Now the midstone pointer, or the mid-pointer stone, I should say, the mid-pointer stone, lies directly due east or due west from the 45,522 point. And we discovered that back on my video called Can You Handle This?, where we discovered that there's a stone out here on Round Island, and when you take a line and bring it all the way across due east, it goes through the mid-pointer stone and ends up at the 45,522. And that's how I discovered that this was due east of this point. So let me go back and look at, I want to show you something on this map. And one of the things that we noticed on this map is that this compass rose right here is not 90 degrees perpendicular. It is, and let's rotate it all the way, it is a little off, like a degree or two, 1.5 degrees or something like that. Notice this east on here, if it's going straight up here, this east is off a little bit. Also notice too, this little tick mark, and it doesn't look like something that, I don't know what it is, but I'll show you in a minute. It is purposeful. It is there for a purpose, I think. So anyway, let me bring that back down. So what we have here is we have this Rochefoucauld map at the scale of the 1443, which is this. And what it does, and we know that from going to there, it can only line up one way that way. And the sizing of it is set by the distance from the extension triangle to this line, which is given by this clue right here. And it lays, when it's all said and done, it positions itself on the 45,522. And that happens to be at a 45-degree angle from the top stone to the oak entrance to the triangle of Peter. So that's the information you get from that, right? Well, I also noticed that at this scale, if you measure from the 45,522 to the end of this tick mark here, okay, the distance is 430 feet. To me, that is giving you, this is a scale. So this is like a legend. And it's not only for this one, but it's for the next one. And I'm going to take this one off. So that is, I don't know what to say, because I haven't really touched this map and its orientation at all since I put it down for the scale. So that is phenomenal that that measures out that way. But today I did another one, and let's see if I can find it. It is the north map. Where is it? Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had it on up here, but I guess I have it down here. Sorry. Okay, so here's the north map. So what I did is I didn't scale this, okay? I just put it on here. And what I did is I oriented it to, from the 45, I oriented the northeast, the east-west line to directly east-west, because I knew there was a, from the Barcoo, this was the main point of interest. So I oriented it that way, okay? And it is, it's east-west. But anyway, this north-south line here is offset, but look where it points to. It points to the extension triangle. And the extension triangle, all it is from the mid pointer stone flipped over across the headstone to here. It's the same distance. So in our last one, we had the larger scale. We had this distance, which is marked out here. And now we have this information that is telling us that we take this midstone pointer and we put it here. So we have another location that is the same distance. Now, the funny thing about this is this right here, if you take the same measurements as you did from the tick point to the end of the tick point to the center here, the measurement is 290 feet. That is the measurement from the end stone to the midstone, and from the extension triangle to the north anchor. So it's interesting that this map is basically telling you, and I don't know, the information is there. I don't know how you would understand how to put it together, but the information is there. The 290 is there, the 430 is there, the position of the end stone, the midstone, and the extension triangle is there. And so if you have this whole thing together, you know the end stone and you know the north anchor. And just to throw this in, when you do the 1440 scale from the end stone, it goes through the hole, the north anchor, and the oak entrance. It establishes those. And then when you take the extension triangle and make that the center of the other scale, which I didn't mention here, which is the 2130 scale, foot scale, which is found on the note, the bottom note of La Formula. You get the location of the hole verified here. So it's really interesting. I always wondered why that was offset and it wasn't perpendicular to north, because it wouldn't hit the triangle, the extension triangle, if it did, but it is now going through the extension triangle. And it's fascinating too how that little tick mark here is now basically showing you what that represents. It represents the scale, the legend, I guess you would say, the legend or the scale, the two scales that are being used. And you know, these scales are proportional to the distances at the end stone here. And I did this on my last video, but I'll just go a little bit into it. These distances are in direct relationship to the distance, the bigger distances. The 1440 is in relationship to the 290, and the 2130 is in relationship to the 430, which are these two scales. The yellow one is these two, and the blue ones are these two, and they're within 5/10,000ths of I guess you would say percentage or ratio of each other. So pretty remarkable. Definitely not coincidental, and the information that this gives you is, I don't know how you would do it as a person who had this map, but obviously there's more information and instructions that you would probably glean from some other documents, but this is what you get from this document. And it relates to Oak Island, it relates to Nolan's Cross, which isn't even mentioned here. And I find that very fascinating. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Get on those other channels if you like, and check out that that interview from Aaron Helton. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.